16 children were found living in a rundown home in Ohio, officials said. Ohio Bureau of Investigation and the local sheriff's department searched the home on Tuesday and arrested 4 adults after finding the children. Some were in dire need of medical treatment, authorities said. The children ranged in age from 1.5 years to 18 years old and included both boys and girls. 7 were transported to the hospital in Columbus and 2 were flown by helicopter. Gary Siders Jr., Gary Siders Sr., Christina Siders, and Elizabeth Siders appeared in court Wednesday, where a judge entered a not-guilty pleas on their behalf. They have not yet been assigned lawyers. I've been doing these types of cases for a long time, Ohio Attorney General Andy Wilson said. I spent a big portion of my career dedicated to prosecuting these types of cases, and I can tell you this is pure evil. What we saw down there today was pure evil. The 4 adults were charged with second-degree felony child endangerment because it involves serious physical harm, Vinton County Prosecuting Attorney William Archer said. Wilson said Wednesday that the conditions in this house in the tiny village of Hamden were almost indescribable, saying it really looked like a third world. It's just almost beyond comprehension, he said, without providing details about what was inside. It appeared that the children had spent most of their time in just one room for much of the 4 years that they lived there, Wilson said. The house sits on a road tucked away alongside a steep railroad embankment where tracks carry rumbling trains through Hamden. On Wednesday, its doors and windows stood open to the 94-degree Fahrenheit heat. A tangle of discarded children's items, 2 busted bicycles, a plastic play table, a beach pail, and 2 infant carriers stood in a pile in the yard. Hamden has a population of less than 1,000 people and is about 60 miles southeast of Columbus. Now let's take a look at press conference and some more info.
All right, Chris, thanks so much for the update there. Breaking news, 4 people face multiple felonies after deputies say they abused 16 children, keeping them out of sight for years.
Yeah, the prosecutor calling this pure evil. Today, investigators sharing new details about what they say they found inside the family's home in Vinton County. That's about 2 hours east of us here in Cincinnati. Our WLWT News 9's Todd Dykes live in Vinton County tonight with the very latest on the case. Hi there, Todd.
Hi, Sheree and Ashley. Yeah, I'm here along Main Street in the village of MacArthur after heading east, driving through Claremont, Brown, and Adams County. It was in this courthouse behind me where a judge set bond for the 4 defendants today at $300,000 each, and all cash bonds. Deputies say that Gary Siders Sr., Gary Siders Jr., Christina Siders, and Elizabeth Siders abused 16 children ranging in age from 1.5 to 18 years old. Investigators say the Siders kept the kids in a roughly 12-foot by 12-foot room in this house in the extremely small village of Hamden, just south of where I am here in Vinton County. Today, Ohio's acting Attorney General Andy Wilson said a search warrant in an unrelated investigation led to the kids' discovery. He batted down rumors of any kind of human trafficking, saying this is an isolated family situation that could have been deadly if not for the quick work of investigators.
I think if they would have waited another 24 hours, there was a very high probability that we'd be dealing with a death or multiple deaths of these children. We've talked to some of the neighbors. We've talked to some of the people from the neighborhood. These people have been here for about 4 years, and we've talked to some people who live in the neighborhood who said, I had no idea that kids were even there.
Now, after deputies did find those children, 7 of them were taken to hospitals in the Columbus area. Andy Wilson said that 2 of the kids were in such bad shape they had to be flown by medical helicopter, giving you an indication of what was transpiring in that home, or at least allegedly taking place. It does appear at this point that all of the kids should recover. Everyone's hoping and praying that's the case. The state is now seeking temporary custody. For now, reporting live here in Vinton County, Ohio, Todd Dykes, WLWT News 5.
It is absolutely heart-wrenching. Todd, we know each of the Siders are in jail right now. They're being held on a $300,000 bond each. You were in the courtroom today. How did they react to those charges?
Yeah, Cherie, all four appeared in court today via Zoom, so they were on a computer monitor. 73-year-old Gary Siders Sr., he was in a wheelchair, seems somewhat dazed during the proceeding. 36-year-old Gary Siders Jr., well, I can tell you his jaw dropped, literally as he gaped when he heard that his bond was $300,000. The two women, 67-year-old Christina Siders and 33-year-old Elizabeth Siders, they appeared together. Of the two, Elizabeth was the most animated, and not in an out-of-control kind of way, but she started to argue her legal defense for a minute, and the judge quickly weighed in and said today was not the day for that kind of conversation. So we'll see how it all plays out from here. Cherie?
Todd Dykes live for us in Vinton County, Ohio today. Todd, a lot of people concerned about that case. Thanks for the update.
Yeah, it just goes to show you never know what can be going on in somebody's house, your neighbor's house, or just some random house you see driving down the road. You never know what kind of situation is inside. Like in this case, 16 children basically living in one bedroom for 4 years. That is pretty crazy. Yeah, it was a crazy story. Wanted to share that with you guys today. If you like these kind of videos, leave a like and leave a comment. And make sure you subscribe, and it really helps out a lot. Thank you guys. Until next time. Peace out.